During a dangerous heat wave, I sent valuable supplies to my fiancé, but he told his mother I was being stingy. Later, I discovered he was secretly selling water and food for profit while giving my supplies to his mistress. He even locked me and his mother outside in the scorching sun, leaving us to die. During the extreme heat wave, I delivered a substantial amount of precious supplies to my beloved fiancé. He claimed that his mom thought I was stingy and cheap. Both of them even had the audacity to come to my house and take over later. I discovered that my fiancé was the mastermind behind all the deceit. He not only sold the water and food his mom had given me at exorbitant prices, but also handed my supplies to the other woman. He even locked his mom and me out, hoping the sun would bake us, but he forgot neither his mom nor I are easily defeated. If he likes the other woman so much, they might as well bake together on the streets, clinging to each other never to part. One Declan, did you get the supplies? I sat in the shade of my house sipping the precious water. The Nong was showing news of heat-related deaths. I sighed, turned off the Nong and continued on spy. I spent quite a bit of money and resources to have them delivered. Before I could finish, Declan interrupted impatiently. My mom says you were too stingy. How is this little bit of water enough for anyone? This little bit of water? Does his mom realize how scarce water is now? I suppressed my irritation, screwed the cap back on, and carefully placed it in a cool spot. Do you know how tight water is right now? If your mom does want it, she shouldn't drink it. If they don't want it, give it back. I will drink it myself. At this point, Declan seemed to change his tune and quickly explained, Babe, my mom might dislike you, but I don't. You did stock up a lot of supplies before. How about sending a bit more over? I looked at the storage room filled with water and food. I wasn't short on supplies, but giving them to Declan was okay. Giving them to his mom was not. I always thought his mom was a two-faced deceiver. Before the temperatures rose, his mom promised me 5 gifts and a $10,000 dowry, but what I got were 3 gifts and the dowry never appeared. Yet in front of me she acted all polite. Whenever I went to their house, she prepared a table full of food and praised me for being a pretty girl. Even at the beginning of this ordeal, she kept thinking of me, telling me to take care of myself. She sure put on a good act, but now her true colors are showing. Finish what you have first, then we talk. I hung up and walked to the window carefully. I pulled the curtain to peek outside. There wasn't a soul on the street, just some bodies dried by the sun. Anyone going out at noon would either be dehydrated to fainting or be peeled like an onion by the sun. I quickly shut the curtain and lay back on my bed. My mother-in-law messaged me on Snapchat. Rosalie, how have you been lately? Do you have enough to eat and drink? If not, either have someone bring some over tonight. I assumed she was being sarcastic, so I replied, unlike you who still have water to drink. She immediately called, sounding genuinely worried. Rosalie, are you okay? If you need anything, I can bring some supplies tonight. Sure. I casually picked at my nails. She's just saying that. But I didn't expect that night she actually came with a bunch of stuff. Declan followed her, wearing his usual sour face. I told you not to come. Do you want people to sleep or not to? My mother-in-law gave me a helpless smile and then placed the bags in the living room. Even at 1 in the morning, both she and Declan were drenched in sweat. I handed a tissue to Declan to wipe his sweat, but my mother-in-law pulled him toward the door. Rosalie, don't be stingy with yourself. If you run out, I will find a way to bring more. Then, she urged Declan to go home. Come on, it'll be hard to travel once the sun's out. Declan stared at the slightly open storage room door. Then, with a smile, he pushed his mother's hand away. Mom, I'm staying. I want to spend more time with Rosalie. I was surprised by Declan's initiative. I was usually the one begging him to stay. His mother looked troubled, but I can drive. Waskwardly, she took the car keys Declan handed her, standing helplessly by the door. Fine, stay here tonight. He pointed to the guest room. Ambiorge, you can use this room. His mother immediately agreed. Ulsnir, thank you for the trouble. I didn't want to deal with her, so I waved her off and wrapped my arm around Declan's as we walked to the bedroom.